What is up, everybody? We are back once again for
Yes,
NFL picks. So let's just go ahead and get it out the way. Last week was rough.
for so many reasons.
It was real rough. And then we got Thursday night's game wrong too because we both picked New Orleans. And while we're here,
To be honest, if I knew Dalton was starting, I wouldn't have picked it.
I mean that's fair.
I
That's
didn't. I
fair.
didn't realize that. I wasn't paying it.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's real quick. Let's just have a moment of silence for New Orleans. Their attempt at the Berg Gauntlet is officially over. Brings a tear to my eye. That was what I was really hoping for this season. But all right, right now, as it stands, after last week, I tied it up. So now Brett and I both sit with our 4 pushes at 39 correct and a whopping 52 incorrect. Oh, it hurts.
This is not. This doesn't look good
It doesn't feel
for the end
good.
of the season.
Oh no, and it's only gonna get worse because this season's been weird. Oh, let's get started, shall we?
Yeah,
All right. Game 1.
let's go.
We got Cleveland at Baltimore. Cleveland getting 6.5. I think Baltimore is upset that they lost to New York last week, and Lamar's gonna come out ripping. I'm gonna take Baltimore.
Um, Although we're probably gonna get, you know, screwed on the spread here, I'm also gonna take Baltimore.
That's fair. That's fair.
This seems like the smarter bet.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's much to say. Both with Baltimore.
And moving on to the next game, you have the Green Bay Packers coming off of 2 straight losses, going up against the Washington Commanders. Commanders getting plus 4.5.
2 straight losses for the first time in a long time for the Packers.
First time for LaFleur.
Yeah, first time for LaFleur. So I'm gonna be real with you. There is a relatively large part of me that kind of wants to take Washington here, just because Green Bay has been so wishy-washy, and Wentz is out, Heineke's in, and that alone really makes me want to kind of take Washington.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was highly considering picking Washington here, especially with them getting points, and I don't know if Green Bay is ever going to run away with a football game. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna take Green Bay.
I'd like to think that Green Bay. I'm taking Green Bay on the idea that
they're better,
work something out. But if they fail here,
it's not gonna be a good look.
There's a lot. No. The confidence is just gonna go out the window.
Nah, if they lose here, there's gonna be some serious questions going forward. But for now, we'll both take Green Bay. So let's move on. Up next, we got Tampa Bay at Carolina. Carolina plus 13.
Who said this was a good idea? Who said plus 13 was okay for betting up?
All right.
Can't do this.
Let's talk about it real quick. In the past week, Carolina has traded away Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
They're both gone.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows who Carolina's starting quarterback is?
It's PJ Walker, right?
Sure. Does it matter?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's PJ Walker. No, it doesn't.
I gotta take Tampa. I don't like a 13-point difference.
but it's not enough.
But ah, I gotta take Tampa.
Imagine you just lose the engine to your offense and then expect to put points up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's just what Carolina did.
Yeah. I gotta take Tampa.
Moving on. Falcons heading to the Bengals. Falcons up 6.5.
What are your thoughts?
What do you? Well, honestly, I got it. I got to take Atlanta on this one. I think they'll keep it close enough. I'm not confident that they'll win. I think they keep it close enough.
This one's tough because I think Cincinnati is the infinitely better team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Cincinnati has the better quarterback. They have the better receivers. They have the better defense. I'm just worried about their offensive line.
Yeah.
But
it gets picked apart easily. And if the Falcons defense can just buy enough snaps to keep that game close,
I just don't think they can. I'm going to take Cincy. I don't feel great about it, but I would feel worse about taking Atlanta. They're too wishy-washy. They like to throw away games. The only time they like to be truly, truly in it is when it's divisional. And this isn't. So you'll take Atlanta. I'll take Cincy. We'll move on. Detroit at Dallas. Detroit getting 6.5. I do not think it's enough. Dallas coming off of a hard loss to Philly. We're getting Dak back. Our defense is still grinding like crazy. I think that our defense is going to pick apart Jared Goff. Probably count on a pick or two. And with Dak back, our offense should be more efficient than it was before. Not that it was great, but it was enough to get games
might
done.
be going through growing pains again.
Maybe a little bit. But I think that Dallas's defense is good enough to really cause problems for Detroit. So I'm going to take Dallas minus 6.5.
Yeah, I get that. Detroit has not been a good football team. Like we were talking based off of last year, they had this tendency to just keep games close. They were just a play or two away from winning, right?
Yep.
This season, we expected that to be the same, most likely better, because they got all this reinforcement during the draft and everything. And it's not. They're not looking like a good football team, and Dallas is going to throttle them.
I think it is worth mentioning Detroit's coming off of a bye. Those can go either way for teams. They could cool them down even worse than they were, or it could let them recalibrate. I'm more willing to bet on it cooling Detroit down even further.
I don't know if Dallas is the team they would want to be facing coming off the bye.
Agreed. I think if they were coming off the bye facing a Chicago, they might be a lot happier.
Sure. Yeah. Potentially get a win off of that and then like build some momentum.
Yep. The weaker team in their division. But yeah, Dallas for both of us. Let's move on to what's next.
New York Giants heading to Florida. Jacksonville Jaguars. We're down 3.5.
Yeah. New York getting points here?
It's interesting. I could be wrong, but the Giants, they're a 5-1 team, right?
Yeah, on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville, they 2-4 on a 3-game lose streak. I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah, that's just the smart bet. Like they're getting points, and they've
And they're
been on
the
a roll.
better team. Like, Saquon's back. Let's just say like it is.
He is. Yeah, Saquon's back.
All right, so we're both taking Giants. I don't think there's much to talk about there with them getting points. If Jacksonville was getting 3.5, I'd still probably pick the Giants.
Have to think about it,
but I'd still probably. Let's move on. This is a tougher one, I think. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Indy getting 2.5. That's tough. Tennessee coming off a bye. But Indy coming off of a huge win. Matt Ryan had a field day last week.
now do you think this is like the team is, they've
Starting
come
to click?
together and they're starting to click, or is this a Carson Wentz moment where, we showed you what we're fully capable of, but we're
we ain't
not
gonna
going to
do
live
it.
up to that about 90% of the time?
So that's super fair. I don't know. I don't think it's fair to put Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan in the same category. Matt Ryan is.
No, I was referring to the team.
I understand where you were going, but I still just want to say, Matty Ice, you ain't down there with Carson Wentz. Don't fret. I think that it was a bit of a coming together moment, and I think they're going to build off of it. I think when they've won big. They're right there with Tennessee in record. Tennessee's got. They have the same record with the exception of Indy having a tie, and that was in week 1. Tennessee could be worse in record if they had played last week. We just don't know.
Right.
So with that, I'm going to take Indy. I think that the growing pains have kind of settled a little bit. And I'm going to take Indy to get the win here against Tennessee.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. I'm going to take Tennessee. I just think they're the more put together team.
I respect that. I think they are the more put together team. I just think that Indy has a little bit better momentum. I think Tennessee might cool down a little bit after that bye.
They might.
What's next?
What do you think about the Texans going to Vegas to face off against the Raiders? The Texans, by the way, getting 7 points, to go along with that.
So that's tough to me. These are the two of the the 4 1-win teams in the league. And they're both coming off of a bye. I think coming off of a bye, I have to ask myself who's the better team and has a better chance to recalibrate, and the answer to that is Vegas, without a shadow of a doubt. They are the better team. I think that with all the drama with Devontae after last game, with him pushing that cameraman, he's a little riled, and I think he was a little shook after going from a team that's always 13-4, 13-3 to going to a team that's lost 4 of their first 5. And I think that this is gonna this week off is gonna really help him get into his place and give Derek Carr and him a better chance to recalibrate their commitment to one another. I'm gonna take Vegas here. I think they're the better team by a lot. And I think the bye week for both of them benefits Vegas more than it does Houston.
So I'm also going to take the Raiders. I think this game is going to come down to 2 factors. Is the Raiders defense going to play football? Because that seems to be a big issue with why they're losing games is they can't stop any scores.
Right.
And then on top of that, are they going to continue using Devontae the way he's supposed to be used? If not, there's several downs right there that you're just not going to complete. It's just going to happen. you're going to have those third down conversion moments. And as much as people might not like it, he's the guy that you throw the ball to, even if he's guarded.
Yeah.
He catches that stuff. It's just what he does.
Yeah, for real. No, you're not.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
You want to take Vegas thinking they might fix those things?
Fix it enough.
Yeah.
It is the
Against
Texans
Houston.
they're going up against.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
So how do you feel about the Jets losing? Wait, are they losing points? No,
they're getting a
point. I thought you told me they were losing points earlier.
The Jets are getting a point at Denver.
Oh yeah, they're getting points.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Both New York
points
teams
going up against Denver.
Getting points against bad teams. New York, let's just talk about it real quick. The Jets did not get lucky last week. They beat the Packers. On all sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And Denver is garbage. Super garbage. Taking the Jets. Getting points, taking the Jets. It's not even a question.
Also taking the Jets. I mean, when you listen to interviews after a football game and Aaron Rodgers isn't saying like, "Oh, this is what our team did poorly. This is where our team did poorly." Yo, the Jets did this. Yeah, the Jets confused our offensive line. The Jets defense was everywhere. Like
it's weird
all he
to
had
say,
was praises. That's coming from Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Who's, if we're being honest, not one to give other people big ups.
And is also one of the smartest minds in football.
Like he's very reserved with giving credit to others on just being better that day. He's very quick to downplay his team before he is say like they just beat us. Like,
and that's not to say like he doesn't recognize other teammates.
He's
other players.
He's a critical
he's
person.
More critical.
Yeah, he's
more critical.
He's much faster to critique his own team than big ups another. So if he does big ups another team, that really says what they're doing. And it's the Jets. It's the Jets. Both New York teams are probably going to the playoffs with the way things look right now. All three, if you count Buffalo.
Weird. It's weird, but anything can happen.
Yeah,
These
like shit could switch.
Flukes.
Yeah, shit could go crazy. Denver could win.
There's a lot of games left.
Denver ain't beating the Jets. It's not happening. They're fucking buns and a half. Let's move on. Kansas City at San Francisco, who just got Christian McCaffrey. San Francisco going +1. So here's my question. Does that mean Debo is officially just a wide receiver? like,
I think he's going to be more of a wide receiver. I think having him, being that option that they have to look out for of someone who runs is crucial to the game plan.
So my thing is, if you're San Francisco, do you switch to like a never before seen double running back format where you've got McCaffrey and Debo in the backfield?
That's the thing. It's not. It's been seen. Green Bay ran it 2 years ago. I mean, was it? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Not consistent though. They did it, but not on a regular. You had Williams and Jones back there. Like, I'm talking Debo and McCaffrey right behind Rodgers, as if Debo was a halfback, because you never know if the man's just going to peel out.
Yeah, well, you have them on either side, and then
it's dangerous.
You don't know.
This isn't fair, bro.
Well, either one of them could be in the Wildcat too. Imagine the ball gets hiked to McCaffrey and the motherfucker just takes off.
And let's not discredit it. McCaffrey can throw the ball fairly well at short distances.
Yeah. It's been done before.
It's dangerous. Here's the problem. Growing pains. McCaffrey just got there 2.5 days ago. And
It would be foolish to just expect a perfect game.
And let's keep it real. Let's just keep it real. I love him. I respect the hell out of him. I think he's above average. I'd even say above good quarterback. But Jimmy G is not Patrick Mahomes. No. By any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Patrick Mahomes does things that shouldn't be, by the laws of physics, plausible.
Is this where you tell me that you're picking Kansas City?
I'm picking Kansas
After
City.
everything we just said about San Francisco, this is where you tell me you're picking Kansas City?
I'm picking Kansas City. This is where you tell me you're picking them too.
Yes, I am. I am also picking Kansas City. It's the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs, dog. I mean, like, unless your name is Tampa or Buffalo or maybe on a weird Tuesday Baltimore, I'm picking the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. All right, talk to me about the next game, Brett. Talk to me.
Well, you got the Seahawks heading to the Chargers.
And the Seahawks getting 5.
They are.
All right.
They are. How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
Their quarterback is
Gino. Gino's rocking.
And Gino's been balling.
Right? Yeah, balling. I mean, Gino's keeping them in that division.
It's true.
But against the Chargers? It's tough, man. It's tough. This is one of the hardest ones for me to pick this week, actually.
Herbert's still, favoring his ribs, right?
A little bit, but he's definitely better. He's at least 80%. But is 80% enough? This is tough, man. These are two decent teams, man. I was gonna say surprisingly, but I thought the Chargers would be good. But Seattle's surprising the hell out of me.
I thought Seattle was gonna be trash.
I thought they would be the worst team in the league this year.
Well, because they weren't that good when they had their star quarterback,
right,
last year.
And that almost. But let's just, you know what? Let's do it right now. Let's keep it a buck, because we kind of talked about it briefly a few minutes ago. But let's keep it a buck. Is Russell Wilson washed?
I don't know.
Because last year Seattle couldn't get it done with Wilson, and they're getting it done with Gino right now. And the Broncos are buns.
They're rough to watch.
I mean,
I'm watching high school ball.
I mean, I'm not kidding. I know the Broncos. I've seen a lot about the Broncos. I watched a lot of Shannon Sharp videos. I watch a lot of Skip and Shannon doing Undisputed. Shannon played for the Broncos for most of his career. I know a lot about the Broncos. And the fact that the Broncos are having home games where people are leaving in the third quarter is not good. That tells you how bad they are. It says a lot.
I mean, they're getting booed out of their own stadium.
I'm starting to think Russell might be washed, which is crazy to think about. And if he is, that blows for Denver, because they gave that man a lot of money. But
what do you think about this game, though?
This is tough. This is really tough. I'm also picking Seattle, getting points. But I definitely could see this game coming down to a field goal either way.
Right.
But getting 5, yeah, I'll take Seattle. So let's move on to Sunday Night Football. We got Pittsburgh heading to Miami, getting 7.5. Thoughts?
I don't feel good about this. Mainly because I don't know what's going on with Miami. I don't necessarily know their quarterback situation.
Tua.
It is going to be Tua.
It's Tua.
Ooh. See, I was under the impression that it wasn't going to be Tua. I heard some rumors that he wasn't going to play. In that case, I'm not going to pick the Steelers. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Miami.
you gonna pick Miami now?
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Miami.
Let me just make sure. Before you settle on that. So Kenny Pickett named the starter against the Dolphins,
which is probably good for them, for the Steelers anyway.
Tua Tagovailoa set for NFL return after concussion scares. Will be returning in the Sunday night game against Pittsburgh. Tua. Also taking Miami with it being Tua. If it was anyone else, I probably would have taken Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But with it being Tua, I'm gonna take Miami.
Tua.
I'm gonna take Tua.
With it being Tua,
I'm gonna take Tua. So take us to that Monday night game, Brett.
Da Bears.
Da Bears.
And the New England to face the Patriots. Zappy still, right? Zappy and the Patriots?
Let me make sure. I do think it is still Bailey Zappe. I got his first name right this time. Patriots starting quarterback. Mac Jones is available. Has been listed as questionable, but is not ruled out yet. Is expected to be available. It will be a game time decision.
See, in my mind, that tells me they're still going with Zappe, because there's no reason you put your guy back in if your backup's getting it done and your guy's not 100%. I don't see that necessary.
Rookie Bailey Zappe on a roll. Questions have been asked whether or not he would be the starting quarterback even once Mac Jones was healthy. There is no controversy. New England has already stated they will be going with Mac Jones as soon as he is healthy. As of Wednesday, he was questionable but fully practiced. He was not limited in practice. And it'll be a game time decision this week whether they go with Zappe or with Jones. I am inclined to agree with you. It'll probably be Zappe.
But with that light, who do you think takes this game?
I think either way, Chicago does. Getting 8 points. I think New England probably wins. I think Chicago will keep it close. I don't think either of these teams are all that good. But I definitely think Fields is better than Zappe. And I think there's a chance Fields might be better than Jones. That is yet to be seen. But what I do know is even if Jones plays, he's going to have to get back in the rhythm. It's just a...
And when he was playing, they were not in the
rhythm. He wasn't playing well. Zappe's playing well, but to what end? So I'm gonna take Chicago with the spread. I feel good about Chicago with the spread. If the spread was less than 6, I probably wouldn't take Chicago. But New England isn't playing blowout football even in these games they're winning. They're playing tight football that they're coming out on the other side.
Top.
Right.
Yeah. Also taking Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting plenty of points that I think they'll keep it close enough, if not even win the game. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Do you think the Eagles fizzle out with their bye week?
So that's a good question. So let's talk about the bye real quick. So we've got the Rams who need a bye to recalibrate. Buffalo on a bit of a hot streak. Minnesota on a bit of a hot streak. Philly on the hot streak.
Three teams that probably don't need a bye right now.
Probably don't want a bye right now.
Yeah.
Let's see who they play next week, because that'll really tell me what we think is gonna happen with them in their momentum. Vikings play Cardinals next week. Cardinals played really well this week. But they played well against the Saints, so
could be dangerous for them.
Could be dangerous, but I don't necessarily think so. Philly plays Pittsburgh, so I think they kind of lucked out on the opposite side of their bye. But let's also just say
unless they get lax.
Unless they get lax. But I don't think they will. I think that they know they're good and they want to keep proving it. And you and I have discussed this off camera, but there's a real chance with the way the other teams are playing right now, they go undefeated.
Yeah, a lot of teams are not playing good football.
A lot of teams are playing not good football, and Philly has one of the most lax schedules. I mean, the rest of their schedule right now, I'll tell you. At home against Pittsburgh should be a win. At Houston should be a win. Home against Washington should be a win. At the Colts should be a win. At home against Packers. Start of the season, I would have said, nah. Now, probably a win.
Probably.
At home against Tennessee, probably a win. At New York for the Giants, that's a game they might lose. That's one of their tough ones right now. At Chicago, probably a win. At Dallas, also a tough game. Home against the Saints, probably a win. And then home against the Giants, tough game. They've got, reasonably, if Green Bay gets their shit together, reasonably, 4 tough opponents going through the rest of the season. I don't see a world, unless, God forbid, injuries happen, that Philly finishes worse than 13-4. And that's crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. But it could happen. So I think they're coming off this. And then as for Buffalo for next week Buffalo plays the Packers. Which, as of right now, I guess they caught a break.
They shouldn't be concerned.
Yeah, they caught a break. So no, I'm not necessarily worried about Philly fizzling out. I mean, I want them to. They're in my division, but I also really like what's going on with Hurts. I'm a fan of Hurts. I am. I'm not a fan of Philly, but I'm a fan of Hurts. He balling.
Yeah. He looking mean on the football field.
But right now, let's just take a gander. You and I disagree this week on Indy, Tennessee, and Atlanta, Cincy. Those are the only 2 games we disagree on. So we'll both probably come out of this week with 3 games correct. and get further and further down the hole.
If I see another week like last week,
we're done.
Be upset.
If we see another week like last week, we're done. If we hit 70 wrong before we hit 50 right, we're done. We have to be, right? Like we go from making prediction videos for the rest of the season to recap videos of the previous week.
We don't want to talk about who we think's going to win.
Not anymore. We just want to talk about who did win, because then we're never wrong again.
Well, what we got to do is we got to make picks and then make our official picks the exact opposite.
Just record 2 pick videos and then put them out at halftime of the first set of games.
Ooh, which one are you feeling?
But all right, guys, that is going to do it for this week. This is week 7 of the NFL. We will post in this video's comments our pick for next Thursday's game, as we have been doing recently. We'll continue to get these out for you guys until we decided that we're just done being losers. Let us know what
Been
your
working
picks
for
are.
me my whole life.
That's true. Been working for me for a long time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate you. Please leave your comments, letting us know what you guys think. And we'll see you guys next week. Deuces.
Bye.